The new 1242 3TR.
Live at Spectrum is proud to welcome TRFM as our newest broadcast partner, taking Gippsland's only live streaming music TV show to a brand new radio audience. One of 13 stations in the Ace Radio network and Gippsland's oldest radio brand, TRFM has a fascinating history. We caught up with TRFM General Manager Grant Johnstone to find out more.
Throughout last year, the members, yourself included, appeared on Greg Allen's program on what was then Gold 1242 or the old 1242 frequency on a regular basis. This year we're really keen to get involved in a more formal way because it is a very local program, and it's a really important part of what we do. If we don't push as much local content as we possibly can, it makes life really challenging. I mean, apart from the obvious businesses advantages of being local, in essence, it's the right thing to do. You know, we are a very, very close-knit community, particularly in times, that we're facing at the moment with the number of businesses shutting down and all the publicity around Hazelwood. This is the time that we all need to get together and be as, community-minded as we possibly can. And I think one of the things we've really prided ourselves in over the years, and this really is through the whole history of 3TR, is to be insatiably local and as local as we possibly can. We have this little part of history that people don't know about. Back in 1928, a radio electrical retailer in Contingent Street, Trafalgar, started up a thing called the Trafalgar Radio Club, and his name was Frank Berkery. And in that 1928-29 period, the station was actually officially known, it was an amateur radio station at the time, as 3FB. And it was in 1930 that the radio club, the Trafalgar Radio Club, decided to apply for a commercial radio licence, and it became 3 Trafalgar Radio, which is of course is 3TR back in 1930 was when it first went to air. It's been a really incredible history for 3TR, and one of the things I want to try and do this year is piece a bit more of that together. But the likes of the legendary Bill Collins and Ernie Carroll, who famous for being Aussie Ostrich, of course, were announcers here back in the old Stall Street sale days in the late 1959. But we've had the likes of a lot of Melbourne personalities, people like Nigel Ross, who was a Melbourne personality, the Graham Eddy, who was a big part of 3TR's history for a long, long time, was here for quite some years. And of course, Keith McGowan, a real icon in the Australian radio industry, passed a couple of years ago, and he was here for quite a few years during the sort of early 1970s, the start of his career. And people who maybe spent a lot of time listening to overnight radio, if you spent any time in Melbourne, you would have listened to Keith McGowan's mid-dawn program on 3AW for many years. I was program director here in 94 for 3 years. I did a breakfast show with Aaron Miller, the 3TR Breakfast Club, when it was 3TR. We were actually in what is now no longer, we were in the old Channel 10 TV8 TV studios back then when the company was owned by Southern Cross Broadcast. It was combined owned by Southern Cross and the TV. So we were in that old TV studio, which is where we are now in Coonok Road in Traralgon. We've got a big team. There's 48 of us that work here, and they are just such a wonderful mix of people. We're a fairly, we're a bag of mixed lollies when it comes to personalities at this place. But as radio can be a bit like that. There's certainly some bold personalities in radio. But we've got a fantastic team. So that's one of the things I like the most about it, is just working with the people that we have here. They're just a great group of people. Mummery in the morning is something that still gets talked about. And we're looking at 30 years later, 25, 30 years later. And it is still, a big part of people's memories of 3TR, the Steve Mummery days. And it was an iconic program, and the stuff that they did, stuff he got away with, was just brilliant. And Steve's memories of here are also really fond. And you talk to people who were here at the station at the time, some of them still in our company, and they talk about those days in a really energetic and romantic way. It was a big part of the community. So Steve Mummery, or Mummery in the Morning as the program was, for people that are of our vintage will remember that really clearly. And Steve still thinks very fondly of his time here. I know that. This year, if anyone has any photos of old that they would love to share with us, we don't need the photo, we can scan it and you can have your photo back. And we'll start to call on members of the Gippsland community to help us sort of piece together that history. So I can actually put it into a book, which would be really great to do that this year.